And it looks like we are live now. Hello everybody, welcome. This is Night's Trap Nevlix. When we left off, we had just gotten to the Weeping Peninsula. And we're gonna explore some. I hope that you all have been doing well. But without further ado, I just want to jump right into things. First up, we gotta check in with this lady.
Hello? Is somebody there? Might I bend your ear for a moment, please? My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morn to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander. I fear for father's life. The servants are full wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morn. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, and my sole wish is that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe.
Yeah, we can deliver it.
Thank you, dearly. Then please, take this. Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
Got it, we'll run your letter for you. Are we allowed to read it? Gorgeous silken handkerchief, lightly stained with blood, words can be made out within. Alright. Not sure where the map is. That Catch Flame is real good at dealing with the dogs. Yeah, interestingly enough, I noticed this in the description for today's stream, but so far this Elden Ring run has felt more faithy, for lack of a better word, than almost any of our Souls ones. Like, most of what we use has been incantations. Catch Flame is probably our primary damage source. Yep. Alright. Anything from the giant? No, nothing from the giant. I wanted to get one in yesterday, but I had way too much shit going on to be trying to get a stream in. So we had to have a bit of an absence. Yeah, we're out of healing. I think we just get out of here. Alright, Mighty Shot is the... Yeah, the map is up there. Apologize if my voice still sounds a little scratchy. It's weird because it's not allergy season yet, but my throat has been so scratchy lately and like mucusy, and I feel like I'm having to clear my throat all the time. So hopefully that passes, but yeah, if I sound especially scratchy, that is why. Oh, I meant to buy more. I meant to buy more. I think that's good. I think that's good. Alright, this looks a bit better to me. Actually, now we'll stick with this. Alright, we're gonna head on back now. Yeah, because we're not gonna run to Castle Morn straight up. We're gonna try to explore stuff. Like I said, my memory isn't 100% on everything with this game, so I kind of want to just, you know, take my time, enjoy the process. Yeah, for example, exploring this place. We are gonna want to get inside all of these because this give us more attunement slots. Seek 3 wise beasts. I remembered that one being there. Oh, that drew your guys' attention. There we go. We have 2 beasts down, so... Oh, third one. I like how these rises were implemented into Night Rain, where it's just a randomly determined puzzle to open up the rise. It makes them a little bit annoying, but that's also, they're not something you have to do unless you're playing somebody who wants spells. I did think there was going to be something more in there, though. Kind of surprised that's it. Not going to complain about it, but... I remember when I found my Starlight Shard for the first time at one of these, I thought that they were going to be a super rare item that I would need to keep, like, good track of. Like, it was some sort of key item that if I spent now, I would regret spending later. Only to learn that they are not at all this super rare resource that needs to be hoarded. It's like there's a little boss this way. I was gonna say, please do not be a felling star beast. I thought this was I know this guy is a boss of some areas, but I thought that there'd be a boss version here. Oh, fuck. Yeah, most of their moves don't hurt that bad, but that rock throw fucking hits. There's nothing in this area? It was just fight dude, get nothing. That's a little strange. Alright. I thought there'd be a little something more there, seeing as there was a one-time spawn enemy. Alright, another Deathroot Catacomb. I think these always have the little imp bastards that were giving us a hard time, but we'll see. Surprised he's gonna huck daggers already. I thought I could lure him further. Fucking whole stamina bar to kill these guys. Catch flame fare much better on you? Oh, much better. I was thinking 2 right when they said right. I'd be wary of right, and I like 90-degree angle right turned when I should have just standard right turned. There's gotta be something up too, though, right? Yeah, there totally is something up. Grave Violet, is that just a random? Yeah. Oh my god. I thought that would insta-kill me. That was horrifying. Alright. Step off and step back down. Please don't let this crush me. Oh no. Okay. They seem to be infinitely respawning, so... We're just gonna run past these ones. That's what I get for trying to fight a couple of them. All right. I like that little statue guys react like... I thought that they'd be more fire resistant, seeing as they probably had to bear heat in order to be shaped. However, maybe I'm misunderstanding how their creation process was, so... Sorry guys, but... Group ahead. Oh... Well, this is something awful. Okay, we just gotta wait this out. Ooh, just barely dodged that. I remember some of its attacks being parryable, but I'm also used to like gold retaliation parry timing. We are almost out of healing. There we go. Burial Watchdog defeated. Just some spirit ashes. I don't think we're going to be using much of at all. Do we want to rest at Grace before we move on? Alright, now we have the faith that's needed to use the aspect of the Crucible incantations, which I know we don't have access to right now, but I'm almost certain we can get 2 of them here. I think we can get Tail and Horn before we get past Limgrave. Which means that we'll have that available on our roster. Oh yeah, the statue doesn't work because we already did the catacomb. Alright, well then this little chunk I think we can thoroughly count as finished. Use this to go to the other side. What is over here? Alright, I fucking hate Souls dogs. Absolutely hate dog movesets in Souls games. It's already bad enough you're being made to kill a dog. Why you gotta make the moveset for them also a pain in the ass? Not sure what weapon's up here. Unless they're just talking about this guy. But you can't really use the giant ballistas that they use, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I guess you can use the hand ballista. Of course I pick up a ballista right after I'm like, oh, you can't use the ballistas in this game. Way to make me look dumb, game. That felt targeted. Almost just died from poison because I didn't look at my health bar for a little bit. Would have been a little embarrassing. Death from a bit of ignorance. So we have a city over here to check out, a little city over here seemingly with an Everjail. Poison Lake. There's a church here that we're definitely going to want to swing by. First, we're going to explore this little structure in the woods. Where are you leading me to? Keep moving, old codger. Interesting. Alright. Thanks for the help, old man. Earthbore Cave. They said trap ahead, so I'm gonna assume that something along this little path is... like the floor's gonna cave out or something? Thanks for the messages that pointed out the trap. Back ahead. Oh, the rat pack. Not as bad as a dog pack, but still not fun to deal with, depending on the game. Alright, we avoided the rats. I don't like how far this fall is. I thought for sure we had a prism stone. Okay. There's a fucking bear at the end of this. Alright, we've killed one of these. What is that lingering hitbox? God damn it. Yeah, did not expect giant fucking bear jump scare. Let's try to save most of our fireballs for the actual rune bear. I knew attacking there was too greedy. Begs the question, why did I do it anyways? There we go. Yeah, we'll dip in and rest here. I also want to see what's through that hole. Something tells me it just drops you in the middle of the rat room, but I'd rather be certain. Oh. Ah, of course. Just juke our way out, and then we'll be homebound. Alright. That didn't cost us any resources, so no need to rest again. Keep moving, old codger. Oh, let's get this. Cut them down so we can get the resources, because flight pinions can be used for arrows, which we might want for baiting enemies out later. Oh. Hey, demi-human. Damn, I feel like we're kind of broken right now. That was, like, obliteration on them. Like, our damage is crazy. More starlight shards, I think. Oh no, Faith Knot Crystal Tier. Actually crazy huge for us. Now our Wondrous Physic can boost most of our damage. Oh damn, I forgot that it has a move where it just slams its head down. I appreciate the replenishment mechanic. I really like that because it encourages you to not rest every time you do anything. Yeah, those enemies have, I mean, their hat and their sword would probably have a better drop chance if they didn't have 15 other fucking items. The mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. O Marika, Queen Eternal, he is your unwanted child. Huh. Anything from Melina here? Yes, there is.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden Ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey. Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts.
Alright, we're so close to the cap of 30 that we want to hit before we move on. After this, expect us to pump a lot of vigor and then some mind. Oh yeah, this guy has one of the best curved swords in the game as something he can drop. Luckily for us, we're not gonna be grinding that out because we don't have this. I don't think we're ever gonna have the stats to wield the weapon that he uses, and it isn't particularly good for our build. Sorry about that. Alright, next up we're gonna take on the Erd Tree. And then probably investigate that bridge down there. The main crafting material that we get from the birds that we want is that all of them can drop the foul feet, and then we can use their feet in order to increase the amount of runes we get. This spear isn't half bad. I thought we'd want to change it out probably, but... And hello, Erd Tree Avatar. Oh, for some reason I thought that summoned the little... That's the move I thought he was doing. But that hurt real fucking bad. Nice. could have sworn I heard singing. Oh, never mind, that's just the mausoleum. Oh, one of these is here. Yeah, the singing harpies in this game always creeped me the fuck out. Their music is more pretty now that I have heard it multiple times, but the first time I heard this is like the most eerie shit ever. Especially after it was translated, though. Once it's translated, this enemy's kind of just tragic. I'd say I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm actually not too sorry. We'll take the road footpath down there instead of traveling straight through. And what good odds? We literally just needed someone like you. That implies that there's a cave over here. Yes, it looks like there is. This game's got mandatory horse parkour. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, are you for real? I just got absolutely stun-locked by these bastards. Alright. And we're back at the church. Damn. That was kind of fucked up. I thought that was Explosive Scarab, though, so when it ran away, I kind of got shocked. Thought that was one of the ones that just blows up on you. Instead, it's like the Scarab summoned a lightning storm to deal with me. Hey, I chose the right path. Lightning strike. I just realized that it didn't summon the lightning storm. It's just surrounded by Fulgur Bloom, and I forgot Fulgur Bloom actually summons lightning strikes. Is there not a safe way down from here? Because that looks like a lethal fall to me. Alright, yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to clear this place out and then fast travel out of here. I mean, that kind of... Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're not dead. Cool. Alright. Now we get out of here. It's just really weird because it has the mark like a cave normally does here. Yeah, I'll just be safe and get out of here. Wait, actually, let's equip Lightning Strike. Yeah, we'll see how strong this Lightning Strike spell is. And hey, what do you know? Our first lightning ability. Is there more to this place than just where the queen is? Oh, there is. Shield of the Guilty. Shield made to venerate a maiden whose eyes were crushed by the briars of sin before being reborn in these lands. Venerating the repose of the soul, the shield boosts focus. The briars can be used to attack foes. And then this is where the queen was. Yeah, so we've explored this place thoroughly. Why does the peninsula weep? Yeah, I have no idea. That's why it's the title. I'm trying to figure that out. If I were to hazard a guess, though, it's because this place is so fucking weary and sad. Oh, I was thinking you had a dad joke lined up? Nah. I'm glad you had faith in me, though. Ooh. Yeah, eat fire, shithead. No worries. Yeah, I know. It was just funny. Hey, thanks for giving me the layup I would have needed, though. Does this bridge have braking mechanics like Metal Gear Solid? Or even Dark Souls 3? No. Somebody back here said try attacking for a hidden path, so I thought that, you know. All good. Alright, was the cave icon to show a cave over here? Yes, it was. Bro, this place is called the Weeping Peninsula because it's full of so many shitheads like this bat guy. That's why it weeps. Those guys piss me off. I have a dad joke for it, but it's a bit dark. Hey, we can handle some dark humor around here. Hit me with it. You girls got it? I actually underestimated how much mind we start out with. Because I'm shooting for like a max of 35, so the fact that we already have 15 is actually pretty good. Oh, come on. There we go. Jesus. Alright. Well then let's run this back. There we go, fuck you. No, I'll hold my tongue, I just realized it's a lame joke. Okay. Hey Army, how you doing? Been a little bit since I last saw you on stream. I hope that your holidays were good. Under the assumption you celebrate. If not, then, you know, I just hope that your winter, or the start to your winter, was good. Forgot we can just about insta-kill these guys with the club. Somebody at FromSoft had to feel like Faith was getting the short end of the stick for a long time for it to get the treatment that it gets in this game. You're telling me I start out with an offensive incantation, I get another one, and that we've given, like, every single damage variety type to Faith in this game. Alright, hold on, is this good? Okay, it does good damage, it's just a little hard to hit. Ooh. This club moveset's insane. That's good stagger. Almost blew myself the fuck up. I just lit fire next to explosive barrels. We have gotten ill for a day and then had to max crunch a physics project for one day in like 9 hours, which is why I missed the last stream. Oh, I'm sorry. The guys with the bags try torch? Oh, that's crazy. What the fuck? Why are they so weak to fire? Makes some explode. Guess that makes sense with the bomb rocks they carry. Alright, we know which way leads to the boss, so let's just make sure we fully explore the cave. I have my finals in 2 weeks, meaning I shall shut myself into my room tomorrow and then crawl out on Sunday. Well, good luck on that. Finals always are a bitch. No problemo. My only Christmas present to keep me company. Yo-yo I bought. Aw. Know any big yo-yo tricks? Oh, Jesus. Speedrunning 30 Faith, I feel like a fucking immortal bitch. Or not immortal, but like, you know, I insta-kill everything. It's crazy. I can kind of walk the dog. I've been wanting to learn some yo-yo tricks so that I can put together a Bridget cosplay for this upcoming year for Halloween. So I feel like if I'm walking around with 2 yo-yos playing a character who utilizes yo-yos to an extreme degree, I should probably know how to do a couple yo-yo tricks. I don't know why I sent that back up. Oh, god damn it. Alright. See what's down here now. I didn't kill Patches, however, I did not know that he drops a +7 spear. That's kind of crazy. The demi-human ambushes are so cute to me. Like, these little guys really thought they accomplished something. Oh, and Yura drops a upgraded Nagakiba? I think that we just go down to this side and then we head to Castle Morn. So, yeah. Off to a good start. I fucking love the Elden Ring goat roll. That shit's always gonna be funny to me. Look at him! He's adorable. Joke is, I've been watching a friend of mine play Elden Ring for the first time. He immediately attacked and killed the maidenless dude. Both fingerheads. The girl you get a letter from. Pope Turtle. Patches, Alexander, Ronnie twice. What the fuck? I think the only NPC I've seen my friends kill on their first playthrough was that I have a friend of mine who instantly killed Patches when Patches surrendered. And when I asked him why, he was like, I thought it was a fake out. Like, if I let him surrender, he was gonna pull some sort of insta-kill move on me. And I was like, what Souls games have you been playing where Patches is proficient enough to insta-kill you? Put you in a bad situation, almost certainly, but insta-kill you? I mean, kill Patches, get the +7 spear. Fair economy, yeah. Now, the real part that you'll be questioning is the fact that he didn't use the spear. Why? According to him, spears are baby weapons. I was like, then this girl gonna be a baby on her playthrough. Because I've been sticking with this spear. Oh, really? You're gonna take that away from me? The Great Lance would like to have a word with you and hit you with Dark Souls 2 strength damage. Real. That's what I said. Yeah, he's the type of guy to play through a Souls game and exclusively use the Berserk Greatsword because that's the real weapon for the game. I'm glad that these guys actually have a stance. I know the pike heavy attack in this game, by the way, is the funniest attack. Well, then allow me to get a pike because I kind of want to see what's so funny about it. Holy shit! Oh my god! That was evil! Yeah, this ballista asshole up here did not like my horse. Yeah, I got no idea where this one transports you to, and I don't really want to find out. No teleport enjoyer? Do it. I'll come back and visit it. I'm trying to make sure I do the quest lines, and I remember on my first playthrough, I had a couple quest lines fuck up because I ended up being hit by one of the teleports, and I don't know if they ever fixed that. Because it teleported you to a later area, which progressed somebody's quest line past the point, so I missed out on, like, the first half of Ronnie's quest line. It was frustrating. They messed them up because of that. I mean, it was my first playthrough when the game had just come out, so that totally could be a fixed problem, but I get worried. Yeah, it made me miss out on one of the plus 10 smithing stones from the quest line with the one girl who has the hero starting armor, who is like from the same tribe, for lack of a better word. Or like she has a similar name to Horalu. Yeah, octopus headgear is great. That shit works out way too well. Yeah, her quest only does have 2 steps, but it does give you a max. It was one of the ways that you get a max upgrade smithing stone. And she was like gone from my game after I got hit with the... Whichever one takes you to Lane Dell.
Well, it's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help?
Bee merchant, for real?
Have a safe journey.
Also the merchant that that a good chunk of my friends rush to so they can get the Zweihander. I don't know why this beach in particular made me think of Death Stranding, but that felt like Death Stranding with all of them just walking into the water. Any idea what ending you're going for? Any of the ones that aren't Frenzied Flame? I usually end up going with Ronnie or Gold Mask, though. Why, you got an ending preference? Oh, come on. My friends have absolutely ruined the Frenzied Flame ending for me because they fundamentally misunderstand what the Three Fingers ending is. I was not aware that the DLC gave you a new ending though, so if that's true, I'll probably go for that one because I haven't done it. But I tend to not like the nihilistic endings anyways for these types of games, and my friends fundamentally do not understand what the Frenzied Flame does to the world. In fact, they actively misinterpret it. And that was funny because we were talking about Elden Ring lore one time and they were like, I think that the Frenzied Flame is they were like, I think the Frenzied Flame is actually the most hopeful ending in Elden Ring. It gives the most hope for the world because the world is like everything's gonna burn and die, but then everything will be reborn better without the influence of an outer god. And I'm like, that's not what the Frenzied Flame fucking does! That's not what it does! It's not a big reset, it's an end, like... It's one thing, like, if you liked the nihilistic ending because it's nihilistic, then that's chill, but these people are like, I like it because it's actually very hopeful. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what burning the entire world to the ground does. That's also because I care too much about lore stuff. However, that's probably because lore is kind of what got me into Souls games. I think I've already told on this channel before the silly story of me with Souls games where I bought Dark Souls 1. The only RPGs I'd played before that were Elder Scrolls or Fallout, so I was used to being able to sneak around because I grew up on stealth games like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell. And so I wanted to sneak around, so I picked Thief because that's the sneaky class. And I quickly realized that Dark Souls is not the type of game you can stealth, and I bounced off of it. And then I Never mind, DLC doesn't give you a new ending? Oh, okay. That's all good. I knew that it, like, reinterpreted some of the lore stuff. But it would have been cool if it gave you a new ending. I kind of wish the DLC gave you an ending. I get that a lot of people say stuff like this, so apologize if I'm just repeating stuff that you've heard before, but I really wish the ending gave us an option, however wrong it may be, to side with Mikola. I think that could have been cool. However, the DLC does give us cool bosses to fight. And it carries Mohg's reputation on its shoulders. Oh, no dialogue from Melina here. Yeah, that's the thing. You can side with the Dung Eater. You can side with the Dung Eater. So I've heard people that are like, "Oh, you can't side with Mikola because Mikola's ending is wrong and evil." And it's like, but I can side with the Dung Eater who just wants everyone to be cursed forever. Yeah, I can side with the Frenzied Flame and Dung Eater. Don't tell me that Mikola is not sideable because it's wrong. Yeah, I tend to prefer Goldmask and Rani endings because they're the only endings that I feel actually address the major problems with the Lands Between as, like, a universe. Which is just the constant interference of the different outer gods. They do it in different ways, but they ultimately achieve the same thing. Hello, Selen.
It will do no good, I swear it. And yet you persist. You frothing degenerates.
No, you do not fucking hurt her, you bitch. Does she have any other lines here? Yeah, I really like Selen. That's why, even though it doesn't really benefit me to do her questline, to my knowledge, I'm gonna do it anyways. Also, I agree, Goldmask probably is the best lore ending, even though Rani's ending is given so much, like, it feels like extra attention than the rest of the endings. I feel like we just skipped out on whatever that is. Because Rani and Goldmask both seek to... They kind of seek the same general idea of no more outer god influence. However, I'd counter-argue that the moon seems like it takes the form of a sort of outer god. It's just the one that Rani draws power from. That or it is kind of Rani by the end of things. So I get a preference for Rani's ending, but Goldmask's ending doesn't... The only problem with Goldmask's ending is that it doesn't address the here and now issue. It does stop future issues, but then it comes down to, like, is the here and now fixable? Because now there's no more Outer God influence because the Elden Ring says that that's not a thing. So there's a fundamental law in place that the Elder Gods can't influence this place anymore, essentially. So then it's kind of just up to everybody else to rebuild. Are we at the Madness Village? Yeah, we are. I think I only like the Gold Mask ending because it's the only ending where I don't kill my friends in horrific ways. Pretty true. The Ronnie ending, everyone relating to Ronnie dies. Lithe and EG and the weird fucking creepo dude who should die no matter what. I thought the rest of the rats were coming. That was going to be a lot cooler if I got more than one rat with that. I do, however, understand the nihilism behind the Frenzied Flame ending. I get the concept. And it is kind of cool in a meta way. I've joined the Way of Faith by doing a Faith Run in Dark Souls 1 using 1 miracle and the 3 miracle weapons in the game, including the Astora Sword. It's funny because Dark Souls 3 arguably has stronger miracles by the end game. But the early and mid game of Faith Run in Dark Souls 3 was so ass that Dark Souls 1 genuinely felt like a better, like it supported Faith better than Dark Souls 3 did. Just because they never get the same highs as Dark Souls 3, but they're never bad. The lightning spears feel strong. The miracle weapons in Dark Souls 1 are kind of bad, though. I'll give you that. Grant is a scam. Which sucks, because it's such a cool design for a weapon. And we now have the Frenzied Flame. Also, I forgot we should probably be equipping... not the Source Seal, because we'll instantly die, but... we'll do this for now, actually. Boost our survivability a bit. Yeah. Miracle weapons doing magic damage has always been funny to me. This is like Faith's whole damage element in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 is lightning. I suppose Dark Souls 3 added what looked like holy damage of a sorts, but even then, holy wasn't a thing. That run ended at Manus when I quite literally abandoned my faith, went to Nito, got his sword, and did better damage on with +4 Gravelord sword. That's sad. Yeah, sometimes I feel crazy when I look back and realize that Faith is still probably my preferred style. I'm just that much of a, I guess, of a lightning lover, I guess. Because it gets such disrespect in Dark Souls 1 and 3. It feels great in Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring, though. And by the end game of Dark Souls 3, you feel strong, but I don't like builds that feel like trash until the very end. I agree it should be at its strongest in the end, but Crescent Axe that Patches has is kind of banger. Yeah, it tends to be pretty good. That's what I usually use on my Faith runs. I know that I excluded a lot in my one that I streamed, but I was trying to mix it up because I remember I relied on it quite a bit when I played it for the first time. So I wanted to try and give the store a straight sword a spin, and it required less investment. I don't have anything else. You don't have anything else worth buying? I like Fia's questline. Fia's questline is fun. Fighting the brain dragon is a good time. I do wish that Deathblight did something to your enemies. I understand that having it insta-kill them would be too strong, but I always wish that they would adapt things to work in PvE and PvP instead of just PvP. That being said, the amount of times I've used Death Lightning and actually procced Deathblight on somebody, that's like a peak Elden Ring feeling. That shit feels so good to land. I wish the quest wasn't literally the worst quest in the game. Is it known for being buggy, or you just talk about how long it takes and how confusing it is? Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Deathblight does like next to no damage. Death Lightning can sometimes do damage, but it's like, yeah, it's fine until you have the Red Dragon's Lightning Strike, and then at that point, it's just like, why would I ever use Death Lightning? Whereas all the Madness spells do some of the best damage in the game, and have crazy stagger potential, and have the Madness build up on them as well. Too many variables and very missable, yeah. Yeah, D's quest is stupid, and I forgot that D's quest is a part of it. Correctly, D's quest lets you do forces you to do my least favorite boss of this game, which is the twin wax gargoyles that are behind where his brother is. Siege of Castle Morn, a lone hero fights for vengeance only to fall at the hands of Lord Godfrey. Yeah, D's quest requires you to get some death root. However, you don't have to get all of it. I think you just have to get one for him to trigger the initial dialogue where he's like, hey, there's somebody I'd like you to meet. And then if you agree to it, I think he just transports you straight to where Garank is. Beast Clergyman is one of my favorite quests in this game because it was so fucking cool to get all your beast powers from him and like learn a little bit about him and get some lore done. And then to run through spoilers, I suppose, but since we're talking about this stuff, you probably have been spoiled by something already. You go through Fair Missoula and he's there, and that was so fucking cool to me. Run to the restroom real quick. Alright. And through Castle Morn we go. Alright. The dogs here are the real thing that is gonna get me fucked up. As you've seen, my track record dealing with dogs in this game is atrocious. I think the reason it's so big. Involves D's quest, Rogier's quest, and can be broken if you go to Farum Azula too early. Do you know if that counts going to Farum Azula through the Jesus? Going through Farum Azula through the like the 3 standing points? The one area where you have to use the special stone sword keys to teleport to areas. The name of it's escaping my brain. Because one of those brings you to Farum Azula, and I remember because that was like a fucking horror movie to me. That tornado in the center of Farum Azula actually gave me a nightmare. That shit scares the fuck out of me. Don't know. It's all good. Figured I'd check. But yeah, it is kind of huge for a questline. Yeah, yep. Yeah, they put crazy strong beastmen up there. Oh, come on. Alright, these guys aren't so insta-killed by my miracles. There's a lot of how was I supposed to know that? Yeah. All that work, and what do you get out of it? That's right. Death lightning. I think that's literally like the only thing you get out of it. Equipment-wise. And Fia's dress. Which, to be fair, is a nice dress. Dark Souls quests, I feel like, tend to be the type of thing that it feels like old school in that way of like, how was I supposed to know that? Well, you're supposed to know that through the strategy guide. I noticed the way you wrote out another dragon fight in Elden Ring. I take it you're not a fan of the number of dragons in Elden Ring. That felt evil. Sorry, Pumpkinhead. I haven't played Fire Emblem, and I used to know some people that were really big into Fire Emblem, but I will completely take your word on that. Hubris. I don't like Souls dragons in general. I think they're at their most annoying in Dark Souls 1. Because the only dragon fight I like in Dark Souls 1 is Calamite. I guess technically the Hellkite Drake isn't a dragon in Dark Souls terms, but that trying to kill that thing without just shooting at it from afar is annoying. However, I don't find the Elden Ring dragons too bad. From what I'm hearing, Fire Emblem seems to be one of those series that really wants you to buy the strategy guide. Oh, I didn't realize we already had the recipe for these. Damn! Fuck yes. Only 2 game in the franchises are like that? Okay. Nice. All right, they just fell to their deaths. I somehow have managed to avoid pretty much everything and anything about My Hero Academia other than people talking about fan bases online, but I tend to avoid that because people talk shit about every single fan base no matter how calm or rabid they are, I feel like. So, I mean, how is it? That's essentially what I was building up to. Which is also funny because me and my partner binged a show while I've been gone streaming too. Over the holidays. However, our show was much shorter than My Hero Academia, so... Oh my fucking god, I don't know what it is about their delayed attack that keeps fucking me up. It was kind of mid. It's a shonen. Fair. A shonen with confirmed lesbians, though. Which I have to agree, that would be the saving grace for me. No, me and my partner over the winter break, we finally decided to sit down and watch Has-Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss after our friend kept telling us about how much they liked it. So we sat down and binge watched the whole series over the last couple of weeks. I suppose I shouldn't say we binge watched it over a couple of weeks because it didn't take us a couple of weeks to binge watch it, but we blew through it in a couple of days. But then we kind of wished we hadn't because we're like, now we have to wait for more. Binge watch is binge watch, yeah. We both tend to like binge watching, but then afterwards we're like, oh, I kind of wish we hadn't binge watched that so that we could go through it again. Or so we could like go through it so it wouldn't be so over so quickly. And then I got back into digital horror because I had a lot of series recommended to me, and most of them have been good so far, which is nice because I've always loved watching like analog digital horror stuff. But I was running across so many of them that just felt so like shit. So I'm glad to have ones that I enjoy now.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morn won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology. I see. From Arena. Thank you. I mean, you're dead, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands. If you see Arena, her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
Man in the Suit, Gobert. Man in the Suit was so... I loved Man in the Suit. It was definitely a bit more shoddy than a lot of analog horrors with some of the like grammatical errors, but I tend to be not too harsh on those because they never got in the way of like understanding the series. The real part when grammatical errors start to bother me in series like that is when it struggles, or when it makes it difficult to understand what exactly I'm watching. We'll get this to 20 and then we'll start bumping vigor again. It's unfortunate that Man in the Suit got canceled. People are assholes. People are just genuinely mean sometimes, and it sucks. I hope that the kid who was making Man in the Suit goes on to actually make some stuff. My issue with analog is a lot of it can spiral into infection alternative universes, and those are pretty boring. Yeah. The other issue that I tend to have with the genre is people have a tendency to recreate, for lack of a better word. Recreate would, I think, actually be oh wait, hold on. We should go check on her. And then we can also get the turtle shield too. Because I think there's a dialogue with Irina now. But yeah, kind of lost track of what I was saying. Essentially, I feel like it has a tendency to copy and paste. Where there's a lot of... like a lot of, oh, this thing worked really well, so I'm just gonna try to do that, but now I make it. And I'm not too big a fan of that. Some of them copy and paste a little too much. I noticed that especially with when Mandela Catalog came out. I liked Mandela Catalog itself, but there was a lot of... Oh, fuck. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. She's like cleaved in two. Of course she's dead. I didn't realize that they got her if you came back. Okay. I thought I could save her. My bad. Yeah, they end up just kind of repeating a lot of the same tropes sometimes. That's why I stopped watching for a while, because all I was finding was ones that felt kind of bland and like they were sort of repeating. Alright, I'm supposed to try to the jump. However, I had quite a few recommended to me recently through Spaceman Scott is the name of the channel, but he did like a 4-hour ranking different analog digital horror stuff. And that gave me a lot of material to work with. And I've actually been digging most of the stuff that he had highly rated, so if you want to find some good ones, I'd check that out. Because I don't think there's one that was highly rated that I've actively disliked or felt was like super unoriginal. SpongeBob horror AU's surprisingly good. Huh. I'm not sure what series you're speaking about specifically. My media has now become Fire Emblem shipping comics because my heart needs a hug. Fair. God, I've been feeling that lately. I think there's one SpongeBob horror one where Patrick just becomes evil. One that I really like but hasn't been updated in forever, and I know it's because they're working on it and animation and all that shit takes time, I know. I do wish there was an update sooner though, is if you're into digital horror and you also like Dreamcore, or if you just like one or the other, you know, I highly recommend Forky's series. It's called Sins of the Past. Sins of the Past has been my horror obsession since it started, and it hasn't been updated in forever, which is so painful to sit there and wait for a new update because I want more Sins of the Past so bad. She's also working on a game at the moment in a similar style. It was originally going to be a separate web series, but then they decided to separate it and make it a game instead. So I'm also looking forward for anything on Forsake the Angel. Bozo's Ghost. I'm also super excited for the official Lacey's game that's coming to Steam eventually by Ghost Tundra, based off of her Lacey's game series. I'm pretty sure that if you've been following digital horror for long, the Scrooge is just called Bozo. Yeah, the Chris... Bozo's Ghost. Oh, yeah, I know what one you're talking about. Yeah, Bozo's Ghost from the Walton Files series was really good. Lacey's Games doesn't have a Steam game that's fully out yet, but yeah, Lacey's game is getting a Steam game. After I get past this fight, I'll minimize into my Steam so I can pull up the name for you, because it does have a demo out right now, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. As somebody who grew up playing a lot of those Flash era girls games, that series hits. Because there was a lot of really freaky shit on those websites. Already got it? Okay. Yeah. It's not out yet. There's just the demo for it, but she's been working on that largely. I actually think I like just about every single project that I've seen from Ghost Tundra. Which is pretty rare from my experience with different content creators. Usually there's one project they made where I'm like, this feels really early, or I don't really fuck with this as much as I enjoy the rest of them. But no, Lacey's Games series is probably my favorite. But I do love Immigrants Road and the name is escaping me because I haven't watched it in forever, but I think it was called Bug Murders. Shin Sonic is another good series, which is crazy because I never thought that I would enjoy a Sonic the Hedgehog horror piece of media. Because I didn't get the hype around Sonic EXE back in the day. Albeit when I was a teenager, I was in a bit of a shithead phase. So maybe I would have enjoyed Sonic EXE to a degree had I been less of like a Scrooge. But I'm not even sure if that's true because that's such a poorly written story. I consume a lot of like looking back creepypasta retrospective media, and I expected to look back on it and be like, that wasn't as bad as I remembered, but there was a channel that covered it not too long ago as like a, was it really that bad? And yes, absolutely Sonic EXE. I did not care for Sonic EXE. The only one that ever spooked me was when I was like 10. It was like around the time I was first on YouTube. I saw Tails Doll, and it was really late at night, and I don't know why, but Tails Doll spooked me bad. Which is so embarrassing to admit looking back on it, because Tails Doll is equally shittily written. But yeah, Sonic EXE poisoned the well so much that when people were going off about how good Shin Sonic was, I was like, oh haha, funny. Sonic creepypasta good, yeah, sure. Or Sonic horror good. Most creepypastas are horrendous looking back. You're not wrong. Oh, I fucked up my dodge there. Jeff was another one that I did not get. Which is crazy because I'd say I was with the culture for creepypasta. I was super into creepypasta. I liked the like gothy emo aesthetic that it went for. I was big on that grungy art style, but yeah, Jeff was another one that was just, I like writing, I like reading, I like critiquing writing and reading, and so It was impossible to take Jeff the Killer seriously. Yeah, Shin Sonic was shockingly good because I expected it to be bad because of Sonic EXE. Damn! I got bleach burns, therefore I am let evil now. Well, the kids in Sonic EXE, the other kids that bully him, they behave like they're not kids, they're little mobsters. The way the story is explaining it is like he's got kids that are whipping out guns at him. In the middle of a birthday party, they're just whipping out their guns. They're gonna, you know, unload on him. He gets super strength for some reason. Oh my god. Oh my god. This Misbegotten, the Leon and Misbegotten moveset always fucks me up. I don't know what it is about it in particular. I think my two favorite ones AU-wise are White Diamond one from Steven Universe, because cosmic horror art style, and the Batman one. I haven't heard of White Diamond, but I think I know what Batman one you're talking about. I think the Batman one, I don't particularly like the Batman one, but I definitely think that it gets way more hate than it rightfully deserves online. Okay. However, I'm not sure the White Diamond one would make full sense to me because although my friends say that it's very shocking that I haven't watched it, I actually haven't sat through Steven Universe yet. However, Steven Universe has been highly recommended to me by a lot of people. The White Diamond one is, oh, she's Lucifer, that's it, okay. The art's cool though, okay. Well then I'll check it out so I can see the art. Oh my god, every single time I just get a little too fucking greedy. This guy always kicks my butt. What time is it? Okay. Also because you opened Pandora's box of game horror. Hi Ben, bye Ben. Are you talking about Ben's Playhouse or Ben Drowned? How am I supposed to fucking dodge that one? Actually pissing me off. Been Drowned? Been Drowned is... Actually, Been Drowned's kind of... I went back and revisited that one recently. Found out there's a lot more that was added onto it after I last checked it. I kind of think Been Drowned is a bit better than I remember it. I don't know if that's crazy to say. When I revisited Been Drowned, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be like Jeff the Killer bad, and it just wasn't to me. My issue is you can't make Majora's Mask creepier than the thing that's already on screen. Yeah, I think that probably is the biggest problem with it, is that Majora's Mask is already like a creepy Zelda game. So adding creepiness onto it, I think that's also why it works though, is the fact that, you know, it's already like a game that feels spooky to a lot of people, so why the hell not? You brought up Bozo's Ghost, which I just gotta say, I think Walton Files might actually just be peak analog horror stuff. Or close to it. It's up there with Lacey's for me. Lacey's sticks out because Lacey's hits on such a visceral level for me. Fortunately, I am inept for Citra, but I want to play with HD graphics. I'm good at getting the game to run as is on Citra, but yeah, I've never been good at adding mods to Citra. However, that's probably just because I haven't tried too much. A lot of times I play a lot of old games. I should probably stream some of them at some point. But I go back and play a lot of, like, N64 through PS2 era games through emulation. And I've never tried to modify them too much, but I probably should at some point, because I mean, I mod modern games. It should be pretty similar since it's running on modern stuff. It can't be harder than modding New Vegas. Because I had to learn to mod New Vegas, because I had a mod that was broken for a very stupid reason that the creator forgot to fix. Grab Snatch shoulder after she says old games. All right, good. I'm glad to know that there's a want for that.
In your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty. Once I've rescued Arena, I will spend my remaining days with her. Thanks to you, and devote my remaining days to her. Arena has a gentle nature, though. I only hope it remains intact. Thanks to you, and devote my Arena as I only hope it.
I wish we could tell him at this point, like, hey dude, your daughter, she's dead. So that he doesn't go there and just go crazy. Damn, are they still aggroed on my ass? Fuck off. Nah, your need for mods is valid as fuck. If I were to play through Persona 4 or Persona 3 via emulation, I'd definitely be looking for that shit. It seems to be really inconsistent about the fact that they can climb ladders, though, because sometimes it just doesn't let them.
Greener. How could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Arena, it will be done. I'll hunt them down. Rest assured.
And tragedy, because what would a Souls games be without a bunch of quest lines ending in tragic ways? Plus, it's like I bought this 2DS last year for 200 euros overpriced because it had like way too many games on it via Nintendo Shop. I never considered somebody could make a custom-made trans flag DS. Hold on. It isn't custom made? What? An official pink one with white in the middle? That's crazy. We flew too close. We flew really close to the sun for a second there. That's crazy. It's official is the craziest part. I thought for sure you found just like somebody who custom paints their 2DSs. That's sick. Good on you. Yeah, let's go to the Stormhill Shack first. Sakawada Sensei was the goat, what can I say? I guess I shouldn't be surprised seeing as old Mario game had yeah, Paper Mario had some good trans rep in it.
This tiny golden aura is the grace of the Earth Tree. This light once shone in the eyes of your tarnished brethren, but now it is all that guides you. Or so I hear. You can see them, can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden. Upon the cliff in Castle Stormvale is a shard bearer, a demigod, who inherited a fragment of the shattered Elden Ring. If the rays of grace signal the castle, then the Elden Ring beckons you. As an ally by pact, I pray that you are fit to face the challenge presented by the ring. everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it. You're all on your own, are you? And heading to Stormvale Castle? Enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off. Or legs. Or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven. Oh, I know. Can you take this little one along with you? The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself. And the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little one. It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know. It was a pleasure. Oh, tell them I love them.
I love Rodrigo. I love Rodrigo's dialogue in this game. That is so sad, but that is also so sweet. No, I get it. I'm regularly shocked by how good, how decent transrep is in old games. However, I haven't played Dragon Quest VII, so the game to add to the list. The only one that came to mind was Paper Mario, and the reason that came to mind is because I had a friend who was playing through Paper Mario recently and met Vivian and was like, hey, I should send this to Nat. Nat, look. They have good transwarp in a game. You want to real quick look up the script of Dragon Quest VII? Yeah, sure, fuck it. (1,187 pages? What the fuck? I didn't know they had scripts that long. In PS1 era. Actually, scratch that, scratch that. That's stupid of me to say. One of my favorite games is fucking Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII. And they've got crazy amounts of dialogue. But even that seems like a lot. Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not used to. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, most JRPGs are. They have a big issue with staticness, where everyone's dialogue stays the same no matter what you do. If I remember correctly, if you go back to old areas in Final Fantasy X, though you have very little reason to do so, they tend to have dialogue changes. I did not mean to lightning strike it. Yeah. But it's always good to have more games to add to the good rep list, because I don't know, I like it. Because most of the time, I feel like it tends to be iffy at best. At least from my experience. Like, I remember a lot of people recommended Catherine to me when I was looking for good trans rep in a game. And Catherine feels so hit or miss with its representation. My Hero has a rep, which I can't tell. That's the thing. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if, like, this is intentionally good rep, or if they've created a caricature that just feels sort of accurate. Which sucks. That sucks so much. Good to know that there is rep in that show, though. Yeah, the issue with Catherine and its representation... Oh, wait. Hold on, I'm gonna read your thing first. Split into classes so the heroes get a bunch of money while the villains are outsiders. Oh, okay. Oh, they straight up just have 2 reps. That's cool. The real issue you get into when you're writing stuff like that, though, like you said, them having a trans man hero and a trans woman villain, is that it's okay to have, and I think there should be bad characters, or not bad characters, well-written characters who are evil of all different diverse kinds. The issue becomes when they're trying to write, like, an Asian villain or a black villain or a trans villain or something like that, and they make their identity the reason they're evil, is where it starts getting a little like, you're stepping into the wrong direction, bud. Which is why it always feels like I wish there was more rep, but you also have the issue of it potentially being awful. When it comes to Catherine, I feel like for the most part, the game's really respectful towards the fact that there's a trans character in the roster. Outside of the fact that they have some jokes at another character's expense. My issue is you have this character who's a villain who has this big scene where the reason she joined the villains is nobody accepts her, and she gets killed immediately afterwards. That's fucked. No, that sounds fucked. There's one person that made a rather good video on it. I'll probably check that out. Another video essay to listen to. Yeah, the thing that makes Catherine's representation of that a bit iffy is the ending. Like a new ending they added in the Catherine full body remake, where essentially they're sent back to a time to like high school times in their lives, which is where things really started to go downhill for most of them. And they're essentially given the opportunity to like live life again with a lot of their issues removed, essentially. And there is one character who, when they go back to the era they're in, is trans, but they went away so that they could undergo their transition away from everybody because they were worried about acceptance. And in the thing, they go back to that era, and the trans person is there with them now, except for they're just their assigned at birth gender. So a lot of people are like, "Are you telling me in the good ending, the issue they get removed is like, oh okay, we fixed all of your problems. You're not trans anymore." And it's not because you were born with the gender your brain aligns with, it's just we took that character trait away. And I've seen some debate online about if that's how it's supposed to be, or if it's supposed to be that she started transitioning with the support of her friends instead of away from them. But the whole thing, it leaves so much in the air that it's like, I can't tell if this is trying to be really good representation or if this is awful. Talking about this also kind of got me reminded of the fact that me and my partner recently watched through Ouran High School Host Club. And that show is so funny to me because I'm so shocked on how they're like so close to being like really good and like really good representation from everything, and then they fumble all of the time, but they get so close, and so it feels like whiplash watching that show. However, I understand to some people it'd be more offensive than funny, but it gets so close that like I can't tell if they're intentionally offensive because they're ignorant or if they're just like they don't fully understand things. Also, there's the Japanese versus Westerner culture perspective on things there at play, but Ouran High School Host Club is such an interesting case of representation. That's funny. Over the course of this conversation, I have seen my stream account rise in viewers 5 different times, and then they leave like very shortly afterwards, and it's like, oh, I'm being very upfront about a part of me here.
Not seen you before. Name's Bernard. Tarnished, just like you. Let me ask you something. Are you here in the lands between to take up the fight? Does your faith in the guidance of grace hold firm, despite the collapse of the Golden Order? Yes, you're a Tarnished through and through. Takes me back. But that's a quality needed now more than ever. Any interest in bearing the torch of my battle art? All I know is the sword. Picked up a fair few tricks in my time, too. Now's the time to pass them on. To a good and proper Tarnished, like you.
Is there any here that we want in particular? I think just no skill.
There's a myriad of battle arts in these lands that I've yet to discover. Mementos of all the warriors who raised their arms in battle. Lost and died. A fine tale, all told of true chivalric romance. That's how I fell in love with the sword. And the arts of combat. It grants meaning even to falling in battle. To death itself. Well, until we meet again.
Only good Ash of War is Artorias jump. Oh yeah, there's somewhere on here that we need to keep an eye out for Alexander. I want to say he's up here. Unless I somehow missed Alexander. Alright, somebody's got to break the statue for me. As you mentioned Fallout, I got Fallout 1 and 2. Oh, Fallout 1 and 2 are so good. Yeah, Fallout 1 and 2 are so fucking good. They're also on my might stream later list because those are some of my all-time favorite games. I fucking love Fallout 1 and 2. Again, you need to have a tolerance for old games to play Fallout 1 and 2, which sucks because none of my friends have the tolerance for old games that's needed to play Fallout 1 and 2. I've recommended it to all of them and they all bounce off of it because it's not modern enough. So I hope that you enjoy Fallout 1 and 2. I like a lot of those old CRPGs, so... Alright, hold on. I know Alexander's gonna be around here and I don't want to miss his quest line, so... No, give me one moment. I'm gonna cheat! Yeah, I was way the fuck off. He's apparently over here. My issue is more that I want to play Baldur's Gate first, and for that I want to make a character portrait and I need to learn how to draw. Are we talking like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 Baldur's Gate, or are you talking about like Baldur's Gate 3? One and two? Okay. Yeah, I'm planning on picking those up sometime soon so that I can play through them because I like those old CRPG type of games, but I never had the opportunity to play Baldur's Gate when I was younger. And after I played Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, okay, maybe I should go back and try those out. I'm surprised I allowed myself to play Baldur's Gate 3 before I went back and played 1 and 2, though, because normally I have this little voice in the back of my head that ensures that I play through everything in the release order. It's the reason I haven't played The Witcher 3 yet, because everyone's like, oh, you have to play The Witcher 1 and 2, and then I was like, maybe I should read The Witcher books if I'm going to play Witcher 1 and 2, because then I have, like, a character background. And so I got a collection of the Witcher books on sale, and I've been trying to read them, but I'm bouncing off of the author's writing style so hard. Also, Icewind Dale. I literally went off and made my mini universe of characters I want to draw now. Oh, Alexander!
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Hello? Anyone? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this? My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. No, there's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
I think it's kind of funny that works.
Well played, good
well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this. Once again, the pleasure is mine. I am the warrior Jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander, in fact. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter? I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle, on the southern edge of the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. I've heard there's to be a festival held there.
Alright, we got him out, so his quest line started. Just get a little bit more done before we wrap up, because then I'll have to get ready to go to work.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Earth Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance. I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost.
Every VTuber I watch be on that night shift grind, huh? Pretty much. However, not consistently for me, because I can't really get into what I do much at all, but I sort of similar in the way that it's sort of varied in timing. I think there's a catacombs up here, if I remember right. Also fueled, yeah, I was gonna say, there was also a statue that points to the catacombs areas. I'm hoping to practice my art more so that I can make more of like a custom original character, and then slowly work on VTube Studio to put together a live 2D model. That's the hope. But I haven't drawn in so long, so me getting back into it has been such like a slow and steady wins the race process. I think I can get this dungeon done before we have to step away. Based on our time to kill for these skitons. I'm glad you like what I've got so far. It's nice to hear. You're a cleric dog girl in my Icewind art now. No takebacks. Cope is mine now. And I'm glad to be part of it. So it's funny to be told that I'm a dog girl in somebody else's creation because despite the fact that I really like dogs, dogs do not I have a history of dogs not liking me much at all. There's an illusionary wall. So, oh no, not an illusionary wall. I was wrong. The upper part of your hair looks like when a dog puts their ears low. Oh, I absolutely see that. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna do this boss. I am gonna attempt to do this because we opened up the gateway. And then we'll call it a stream. And hopefully I can be back within the next day or two. If everything goes well, I should be live again tomorrow. Probably for a shorter time frame because I'll have to start later, but... Oh, Black Knife. You wanna fight back at all? What is your AI? That was funny. Alright, he actually just tried to aura walk towards me and then died from it. Uber. They're hurt lower-wise, which is why they start at low HP and are limping. Oh! Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Alright, well, we actually made pretty decent progress these last couple of parts. I'm kind of surprised that we got through, like, the entire Weeping Peninsula, most of Limgrave. Now we just have Stormvale, or actually, next part, when we come back, hopefully tomorrow, heading to the East Limgrave to get this done, and then Stormhill, and then we can actually head to the Round Table and get some big upgrades. But yeah. Thanks a ton for tuning in. Always nice hearing from you, Army. And I hope that everybody who tuned in has a great rest of their day. Peace out.